everybody. Welcome back to the third and final segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. Today, as advertised in earlier segments, we have our good friend, Mr. Elbert Guillory, in with us today for this third segment. This is the second time he has been on, and I hope many more after this election and all. But Mr. Guillory, welcome back to the Cajun Conservative Show. How you doing?
Doing well. It's great to be back here with you and with your audience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're always happy to have you in the. You know, you're an uplifting person. When I go ahead and I meet you at events and stuff, you're not shy. You don't run away from me. You come to me. So that's rare in my profession. But you always lift me up. You always talk to us about the show, and we always talk about your race. So it's an honor and a privilege to have you back in the studio.
The privilege is mine to see a young man who is godly and conservative. Your values are American values, and we're brothers.
Yep, we are.
Well, I'm the older brother, but
a little older than me, just a little bit. How's the campaign going?
Going very well, very well. We are all over Louisiana all the time. I put a lot of miles on. We're coming up in the last 18 months, coming up on about 100,000 miles.
Wow, man, you've been traveling the state. Now, what parts of the? I know you've been all over, but. You know, more up north, more down here. Well, what's your target area for voters?
Oh, every place.
Every place,
every corner. I mean, we've been to places that I can't even remember all the names of little towns that are all over the place. But North Louisiana, Central Louisiana, down by the Gulf of Mexico,
all over.
Yes, indeed.
And you've been to Pat's a few times. I know that. I've seen you over there. We were at an event a couple of weeks ago, the Bayou on the Bash.
That's right.
I was working it, but you were there to speak, and you did an excellent speech, by the way. So
thank you very much.
You and Marty, y'all some good guys to be. You know, y'all got some good value guys. Y'all were there speaking along with a couple of other people like John Stefanski and Stephen Wagaspack. Y'all did pretty good.
I call Marty Reverend Malin because he preaches. I mean,
I didn't know that.
I mean, he preaches in his speeches.
Oh, in his speeches, right? But as you know, as a minister, and now you Baptist, I'm Pentecostal, but it's still the same flavor.
Absolutely.
You know, we can't go on a microphone without preaching Jesus Christ.
We have to. That's our guiding light. That's our director.
Yes, sir. And that book, I told somebody yesterday, we was talking about praying and reading, and I said, look, and there was a younger guy. I said, hey, you watch film when you play football? He goes, oh, you have to. I said, you read the playbook? Oh, I have to. I got to know the plays. I said, well, in life, we gotta have our prayer time with the Lord. That's our watching film and reading the Bible. Hey, that's our game. That's our game plan. So when we in the game, hey, we know what to do.
That's absolutely true. I got to use that.
I'll send it to you in a text so you don't forget. So let's talk about the campaign a little bit. You're running against Billy Nungasser.
Yes.
We reached out to the Nungasser campaign. They never returned our phone calls or anything like that. We saw Billy the other day, and look, Billy's doing a good job on tourism. He is bringing some stuff, but it's funny. Every state, their lieutenant governor has a lot more responsibility. And we know with John Bell Edwards, John Bell is a Democrat, Billy's a Republican, so there might be some friction right there. But when I hear you speak and I hear you talk about the lieutenant governor's position, you want to do more than just focus on tourism. And elaborate on that a little bit, Mr. Guillory, because you talk about, legislative offices for your office of lieutenant governor, and 9 out of 10 we should have a Republican governor in there. So let's elaborate on what you want to do more than just tourism.
I'm going to do two things different. First, I'm not just going to do tourism around the New Orleans area. Right now, when we're selling Louisiana to the rest of the world, it's basically the New Orleans Mardi Gras. There's a lot more to New Orleans than just Mardi Gras. Right. And I'm going to sell New Orleans. I'm going to make New Orleans a little safer also, because the crime in New Orleans is chasing people away from Louisiana, driving tourism down. Tourism is down this year for the first time in years. But I'm going to sell Cajun country, Central Louisiana, North Louisiana. There are so many wonders. If all you have to do is look, if you travel Louisiana, you will find beautiful, wonderful things in every corner of Louisiana. I'm going to sell every corner of Louisiana. But in addition to that, being I can sell. I'm a country boy from Cajun country. Man, we know how to dance. We can cook. We sing. We have fun, and we can sell. People want to come to here to have fun. We will sell the fun and the beauty of Louisiana. But in addition to that, I'm going to, because of my experience as a state representative and a state senator, I know how to identify problems and draft legislation, draft bills to solve those problems. And so I'll be drafting legislation to deal with the problems of crime, the problems of bad education, the too many potholes and too few jobs that pay and support families. So I'll be in the game. I'm not going to just sit on the sideline. I'm not that kind of guy.
Can the lieutenant governor do that now?
Sure. There's nothing to prevent it. I've had 3 government attorneys take a close look at what I plan to do and what the lieutenant governor does now. And nothing prevents me from doing this. And so I will take some of my folks and assign them to legislative duties. Because I've managed state agencies in Maryland, Pennsylvania, Illinois, short time in Illinois, Seattle, Washington. My experience in government spans years and years. Being a good manager, I can go in there and find some fat, and I'll make it work a little bit better. But there'll be enough fat in that budget right now for me to have a small legislative staff. And all I need is about 3 or 4 legislative workers. Then we'll be able to raise some sand in the name of the Lord.
Amen. Amen. Now, got a question on that because, we did, like I said, I heard Billy speak the other day, and I didn't get a chance to talk to Mr. Nungasser. But, you were talking about these things at the speech we were at, and the first thing he came up was saying that tourism is good. We have a lot of, he done a lot. And look, like I said, I'm not going to go ahead and deny his accomplishments as lieutenant governor in that span. But, my feeling is that you could do a lot more with that position. And, to my knowledge, you never attacked Billy Nungasser. You have acknowledged his accomplishments, but you think there could be more. And, Mr. Guillory, I don't want to call Billy Nungasser part of the Good Old Boy Network. Like I said, I never met the man. I would love to meet him. But, it's always like that. Louisiana's like, well, a lot of politicians say, well, Louisiana's good. Yeah, we know we can do better, but we're all right. We're comfortable in that. And I don't like that.
We have to have change. If you look at Louisiana now, you can't be satisfied with what we're doing.
No.
We have to have bold, new leadership. And I'm 79 years old. I'm not here for the long haul. I'm not looking for a career. I've had my careers. The only thing I want is 4 years so that I can make some specific changes, because we can do better. We've got to do better.
Do you see maybe, and look, on that note, maybe Billy wants to do something, but because of the governor, like we said, 9 out of 10, we should have a Republican or at least an independent governor in the office coming forward.
Well, Billy and the present governor have gotten along very well. They don't have friction between them. They've worked well together. But I can work well across the lines of party, of race, of whatever lines they are. I don't play that kind of politics. I have to go and get the job done. And I'm just not satisfied with the Louisiana that we have today.
So going forward, we have, you voted today as we recorded Saturday. You went ahead and early vote. Saturday started the early voting process that runs until the 6th of October. And then we have we have one more week until election day. So we have 2 weeks to this election. You already told me you're planning on still traveling these last 2 weeks, which you have to do. What, going forward, how the campaign, like what's the campaign doing to get more voters out there? 'Cause I'm seeing a lot of your signs out there, especially in the Lafayette area.
I have crews in North Louisiana today putting out signs, but I'm going to tell you a secret. You will be the first to know this, to have this information.
This is breaking news on the podcast
This
right
is
now.
breaking news.
Hey.
We are going to have we have an airplane and a pilot. We're going to do an old-fashioned barnstorming tour of Louisiana.
Wow.
In one day. We will hit Lake Charles, Shreveport, Monroe, Alexandria, Baton Rouge, Lafayette.
Wow.
We're going to fly the state on just an old-fashioned barnstorming tour.
And that's happening this week, or that's happening in a couple of days?
It'll be during the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
We haven't chosen the date yet, but we'll know that. As soon as I know it, I'm going to call you and let you know.
Yeah, let me know. Yeah, we if you're around, we'd like to go hang out with you for a little bit.
Definitely. I definitely want you at least one of those stops.
Yeah.
So we're going to have some fun.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. It sounds like fun. And, Mr. Guillory, you said something earlier, and I like how you said that. You said that it's time for a change. We thought, we've talked to Mr. Waggersback. We're planning on having him on. We talked to a few other candidates. They wanted to come on, schedule conflicts and stuff like that. But, nothing against the Republican candidates. I think we need to go ahead and attack the Democrat Party because their policies have failed us the last 8 years. And I'm going to call his nickname the way we call it, Pothole Wilson. Is he might think he's qualified, but he's not qualified to be a governor of Louisiana. Jeff, Wags, John, Sherritt, even Hunter Lundy has a lot more qualifications to be governor. So going forward, like the last 2 weeks, it is expected probably going to be Wilson and Jeff in the runoff. What do you see going forward in the office that if that you're going to be taking as lieutenant governor, but your ranking member, which is the governor? What do you see going forward with that race?
I do believe that Jeff Landry is probably going to be the next governor. And Jeff and I have been friends over the last 20 years. We'll be able to work together. However, if something happens and Sean Wilson is the governor, I can promise you Sean and I will be able to work together. We may not be the best of buddies today, but I can. It's about ideas and not personalities.
Yeah.
If this is a big crime, is a big problem, we have to resolve that crime. The problem of education affects every single person in Louisiana. It drives businesses away. It drives people away. 40,000 people left Louisiana last year.
Wow.
So they go somewhere else and get jobs and educate their children. So we've got to do better.
Or it goes to the point like this: the kids get educated here, then they go to another state.
Exactly.
And that's a problem too, because like TOPS, I'm not against TOPS. I think TOPS was a real good program. Did it have its issues? Yeah, but overall, it was a good tool to use for kids to get educated here. But what's sad is they use TOPS, use the state funding to get a degree. Then they go to Texas or they go to Arkansas and even now Mississippi. And this is the leadership of the government there. Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Greg Abbott in Texas, and I can't remember the Republican governor in Mississippi, but these states are thriving. Alabama, Florida, Georgia, they're thriving, and it's like we're that one bad blue dot in the South, and we need to do something different. And this is why, and I don't endorse a lot of candidates too much, but this is why I'm endorsing you for lieutenant governor.
Thank you.
Because you want to bring change. And look, like I said, I never met Mr. Nungasser. I think Mr. Nungasser looks like he's a real good guy, but there's a lot of people that tell me that they say, Isaac, we got a lieutenant governor that's Republican, but we see him leaning more, like you said, good friends with John Bell Edwards. That's a bad image, especially for conservatives here in Louisiana.
Billy and I have been friends for a long time, and it's one of our differences is that I'm a rock solid conservative.
Right.
I'm a hard-nosed, red-blooded, red meat conservative. And I've been that since I was a little boy. That's my mom and daddy.
Right.
And they were Democrats, but they were rock-solid conservatives. And so those values, we were talking a little earlier about the American values that you have. Those are the same American values of my mom and my daddy. And that's how I was brought up. So I have to stay with that. That's one of the differences, is that I will fight for doing it the right way, the godly way, and the American way.
And that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. So election night. I did talk to your son El. We are supposed to have you on election night coverage here through virtual. But what's your plans for election night if we don't get to see you before?
I suspect that we're gonna have a nice party somewhere, probably in Lafayette.
Okay.
Probably, hopefully at Préjean's or a place like that, where we can eat some good food and have a little adult beverage every now and then and celebrate.
Right. Well, and look, I'm booked. I wish I would. You and Blake, y'all and Blake called. Blake came here the other day, and he was like, "Man, dude, we having something at Pat's. Man, you want to come?" I was like, and I would offer to go film live there, but man, we got so many guests coming on, and we got things happening that night because we're gonna have Mr. William Wallace on. He called. He said he's gonna be on with us. We got Kelby Dago that's gonna spend some time with us. So we got some good insight into this election coming up. But on a serious note, I hope we call your name on election night that you have won Lieutenant Governor, because you're not. A lot of people think it's only Billy running in this race. Fox News 15 quoted that he was running unopposed, and I'm like, well, that's some bad journalism. I'm not even a journalist, Mr. Guillory, and I knew that you and him were running. I didn't know you had 4 other candidates, I believe, in that race as well. So there's still a lot of people involved in this race. But yeah, it's gonna. I'm hoping that we at least get into a runoff at least.
Absolutely, I'm looking for a runoff between me and Billy, and at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, I expect to become the lieutenant governor, and 4 years from now, I will be able to look you in the eye and say, "This is what I did." So right now, in my freshman year, my first year, my rookie year as a state representative, I created Louisiana's reentry program for people who are incarcerated, to keep them from having to come back into jails. It was such a good program that they put me in the Louisiana Justice Hall of Fame.
Wow!
And I was chosen the legislator of the year, rookie year. So I know how to get things done, and if I could do that in my first year, and I was just a rookie. Now that I'm an old head, oh.
You're not old, Mr. Guillory. You're just a recycled teenager.
Well, I have the energy of a young boy and the wisdom of an old man.
Hey,
in one body.
That's one body. You keep on going, keep on trucking, Mr. Guillory. Before we close out this segment and this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show, what would you like to tell your voters that are listening today? And could we also reach a national audience? If you want to say anything to the national audience while you're at it.
My country and my state are going down the toilet right now. If we don't get together and hold hands, and we have to understand that we're all in the same canoe. We can't let these bad guys separate us. They want to separate us, red from blue, black from white, poor from wealthy, from middle class. We have to. We're all in the same boat.
Yep.
When this ship sinks, we are all down there in the water. So we've got to pull together. We've got to unify. I hope that we can get God back into America, into American schools and everywhere else. Let's bring it back for America and for God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we're keeping you prayers. My dad prayed for you earlier, right when he got in here. So, we're praying that the Lord uses you and guides you. And like I said, you're going to be endorsed by the Cajun Conservative for lieutenant governor. So, I hope that's a privilege and an honor. We hand them out rarely, but we're going to hand them out to you.
I appreciate it, and it'll be on my Facebook page this afternoon.
Hey, if y'all need some pictures, let me know.
Thank you.
Mr. Guillory, thank you for coming again, and hope that we'll hear from you on election night, and we'll hope it's a victory speech that we hear from you.
Absolutely. For us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was Mr. Elbert Guillory. He is running for the lieutenant governor's seat here in Louisiana against Billy Nungaster and a couple of other candidates. So go ahead and check out Mr. Guillory's website, Facebook page. And if you want to vote for him, see how you can help him out and volunteer on that end. Hey, give some money. They need money. So every politician needs money. So go ahead and help them out. With that being said, that's going to wrap up this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show. Remember that Jesus Christ is King. He's coming back, and he's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart, because Jesus has overcome the world. If you want to know Jesus, your Lord and Savior, reach out to me at thecajunconservative5@gmail.com, and I will send you an email back telling you how to make Jesus your Savior in heaven your home. Until next time, be blessed, be encouraged, and always remember to subscribe, follow, and tell a friend. You have a good one. Be blessed, be encouraged.
Jesus Christ has risen, and he is the open